welcome back to the Rumble Pack, part 2 of our big Electronic Entertainment Expo 2021 analysis. Boys, any new thoughts? Anything you guys have been ruminating on for this past week?
Kind of no, because fucking Abandon has taken up everything, it seems.
Really?
Yeah, it is the new
And it doesn't even
narrative.
deserve any. It doesn't deserve any attention or talk right now. Not until they unveil it, because this is a joke and someone's gonna get hurt.
It's funny though, because it's more exciting than anything we saw at the conference.
I know.
I read the subreddit for longer than I watched the entirety of E3 shows.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, I guess, because it's a mess. And then we'll come back next week and talk about the reveal on Friday.
Is that still happening? The app goes live on
The app,
Friday?
yeah, whatever the fuck it is. Dude, we'll get to it.
You sound like you are not a believer in this.
I have a lot of
conspiracy.
problem with it in general.
So instead of beating around the bush, I don't know if one of you
Yeah,
guys, because I'm roughly familiar with this story, but I don't know if one of you.
Oh,
guys
we're just
wants
gonna open with this? I guess we can consider this
I
E3.
mean,
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I have nothing else I want to talk about except this for 3 hours.
Alright. That's fine with me.
Well, Mike, do you wanna break down this story for the audience?
So there's this there was a PlayStation 5 game revealed called Abandoned, which is the unveil was like a 2-minute trailer. It's this person walking through the woods. It's a survival horror game, Unreal Engine assets, whatever. And as people have started digging into the details of the studio that's making this game, they're starting to uncover a lot of very strange coincidences that connect this mysterious game called Abandoned to Silent Hills and Kojima. Now, the issue that I think Kev is kind of, and Kev, I'm guessing here, but I think what you take issue with is that, well, first of all, it's not going to be a good Silent Hills game, if it is one, but the studio and the developer has leaned into the rumor. And so he tweeted something like, our game starts with an S and ends with an L. And so people like took that as confirmation that this goose chase is real and that the game is Silent Hills. So the dev's name, Hassan Karaman. Are you familiar with all of these, like, kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of these, like, different coincidences. Like, I know that one of the guys on the team or something, if you put his name into Google Translate, it translates to Hideo.
it translates to Hideo. Their studio logo is like an inverse of the PlayStation Studios logo. There's teams, some of the the outsourced work for this game are teams that have worked on Death Stranding. One of them worked on The Last of Us Part 2, and this is like, on the surface, it's like this very like budget indie game, but under the hood, it's like people are like, well, why the fuck would the team that worked on The Last of Us 2 be involved in this project? You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So that's a big thing. What am I forgetting? The guy had this guy Hassan Karaman has a PlayStation account. You can see trophies. One of his trophy lists is for a game that doesn't exist, about something called Siren Head, which a famous Japanese artist, like character artist, was talking about in an interview, which is really weird. There's an app that the guy has on his Apple profile from years ago that's a fitness app. Physical trainer, PT, is like called out in the so just all these weird coincidences. So putting aside the fact that if it's a Silent Hills game, it'll never meet Kevin's expectations. This is exciting, and it's almost more fun than like. I'm more excited to go on the subreddit and read more about it than I am to go play Ratchet and Clank on my PS5.
Right.
So
Kevin, Kev, it sounds like you take great umbrage with this, and I want to hear why.
I have a huge fucking problem with everything that is going on with this. Mainly because this trailer came out 2 months in April. And it... I woke up and I was texting Mike. I was taking screenshots of the comments because they were fucking gold. This is the type of... That narration is this sounds like a free Kindle book with 2 reviews. like how can game developers listen to that narration and go, that's perfect. The game ran at 2 frames per second. It looked like your discount Resident Evil 8. It came out right...
Real quick, Kev, it uses, Steve, you know how you can, like, buy assets from Unreal Engine?
Yeah.
It uses, like, the next-gen forest that you can buy from Unreal Engine.
Okay.
And it's literally just the protagonist walking through that stock forest.
Right,
That's the trailer.
Okay. Yeah.
At, like, 5 frames a second.
The narration it's terrible. I went through that's my problem, right? 2 months ago, no one gave a fucking shit about this game. No one... The only reason why this is a headline is because someone connected this to Hideo Kojima and Silent Hills.
Sure,
That's
it took time, though. It took time for that to happen. I think that's why the trailer launched and nobody cared because they didn't know that it was... think that it was connected.
Someone saw that it was supposed to... The gameplay reveal was going to be Tuesday. Today. It was supposed to be today.
Right.
And that's probably... So last week, that's when all the hype started to pick up on this. No one cared. No one fucking cared about this. You look... It's crazy the divide in comments. There's very few 1 month ago comments. It's 2 months ago, 5 days ago.
Right.
All the 2 months ago comments, this game looks like shit. This is a meme game.
What do you take umbrage with, Kev? What's the problem there?
I don't like. I hate the Twitter. All the way that they have handled this. They've come out twice and said that we have no connection. No. You don't say you don't have no connection. You shut the fuck up. You don't say anything. You just keep going. If it is someone fucking around with us, which I mean, also. It has to be. If you're going to give those answers, that's my problem. It's the answers they gave. If you're going to say S and L, you have to understand that people out there want a Silent Hill game more than anything else. And if you just hit... I mean, not just Silent Hill. Let me be clear. Splinter Cell fans are fucking hyped right now because they think it might be a Splinter Cell game.
Wait.
I'm not joking about this. No, I'm not joking. Splinter Cell, there's a lot of Splinter Cell fans that have said, oh my god, SL? No fucking way. Couldn't it really be? This is why everyone's focused on just the one Silent Hills and Kojima. No one's thinking about other people. This is why someone is going to get hurt. I wouldn't be surprised if death threats are already being sent. This has been so poorly managed. If you want to have fun and like fool us, cool. This is not the way to do answers. And the way that guy spoke too in the video recently.
Oh yeah.
That seems so fake to me.
Did you see that, Steve? The guy posted.
I did see that. Yeah.
Do you believe a word he says? It looks like he's just
I don't
I
don't know.
I couldn't read him. I couldn't get a beat on him.
He seemed upset.
Honestly.
He seemed distraught.
Yeah.
This could very easily, all of these inconsistencies, and Kev, you're criticizing the way they're responding. What if this is just some dude that like had an indie game and now all of a sudden like he's getting hundreds of DMs and tweets and he's like admittedly kind of bugged out about it. Then you come back to the SNL tweet. And it's like why would you lean into it? But I don't know, man. A small indie dev with no projects under his belt, seeing an opportunity for a little joke or a little marketing, like free marketing.
So no, they had a project called The Haunting. I don't know if you looked into this. It's on Steam. This is something that this company actually made. Blue Box Games. They handed it off to Creative Q, and it's in pre-access. Like 3 people have played it. It seems negative reviews.
What's it called, Kev? Sorry.
I believe it's called The Haunting. If you do Creative Q, on Steam, you might find it.
Creative Q.
Or just Creative Q Interactive, I think it's called. This is... So the first tweets... This is another thing. On Twitter, it says they joined in 2015. Their first tweets in May.
It took their sweet time.
Yeah, everything says that 2015. So you guys have done nothing for the past 6 years?
It's possible that I saw like the whole like it was a shell that they bought, that Sony bought to kind of do this, or Kojima bought to do this kind
Right.
of tease and reveal, right? So that they were a studio, this guy was an indie dev, and now.
Because if this is the work of Kojima, this is fucking serial level killer. Like, serial killer level of depth. Because they have a game that's been shat on that's probably... It's supposedly very, very buggy. And has reviews on Steam that people bought. But another... I could go through their whole Twitter and pick out answers. I might. I should pull it up. But
Twitter's crazy.
One that I picked out was none of the actual game has been shown yet. Why would you fucking say that, dude?
Regarding the abandoned trailer. That's
Regarding
what
abandoned, none of the actual game, nothing in the teaser is actually in the game.
That's funny, man.
This is so like opaque. Like it's so hard to know anything about this.
I'm okay with that. It's the connection. It's the fact that now that they get a bunch of hype, the thing is, if it's not Silent Hill or Splinter Cell, your game in studio is fucking dead. No matter how good your game looks, if it's not Silent Hill, you'll have your couple people that are still supporting it. But you broke more people's hearts than you made happy. And
I don't know. I mean, maybe. I mean, the eyes might just be what they need. Like, what if nobody was going to play it otherwise? It sounds like that's what happened with their last game.
Because if this is clever marketing in the sense, all you have to do is tease Silent Hill. To me, that's unethical.
Yeah.
That is,
right.
I actually looked online to see if there was a law like untruthful advertising. Because that's what this is essentially. You can't give hope to that in video games. In film, it's not the same, right? In music, it's not the same because there's not this story. If someone said there's a new Terminator film coming out, people wouldn't get hyped, you know? Like,
right.
Or if there's a new Judge Dredd, like, sure, 6 people would get hyped. But it's not something you hide. You let them know that it's coming out because you want to build hype for that project.
Yeah.
This is...
But what project has been more hyped than this potentially being Silent Hills?
Exactly.
This is more hype than you could possibly ever have.
I know, and that's the problem with it, that people don't know what the fuck it is, and then people can show up and be absolutely heartbroken, one way or another, whether it's Splinter Cell fans, Silent Hill fans, or just people that actually wanted Abandoned to be abandoned.
I don't know if there's any of those people.
We'll see, man. I'm excited for that, to see what it is, because especially if it was connected to anyone else, like if someone had drawn this connection to like Ken Levine or something, I'd be like, all right, like sure, whatever. But like Kojima is such like an esoteric thinker.
Yeah.
And when you look at all the stuff they did around Metal Gear Solid 5 when that came out, I mean, it wasn't quite this cryptic, but
That's what I'm saying. This is ridiculous. This is borderline unethical. Like, PT was fine. 7760 Studio, and then put the trailer at the end. That I thought that was the best way to show a game.
yeah.
I was like, oh my god, you made a demo that has nothing to do with the game most likely, and then you're going to show a trailer for upcoming project. That's fucking cool. This is not that. If this is Kojima, this is fucked up. And I can't see in any universe where this is okay.
I think it's okay if it's Silent Hill.
That's it. That's the only way it's okay. If it's not, it's like when the reveal comes Friday, and it's Silent Hill. I'm not going crazy. I'm not shocked. I'm not anything. I'm relieved for everyone involved that this is what it is. Because if this is actually Blue Box Games, I feel bad for the developers. I don't feel bad for anyone doing the marketing. That's for fucking sure, because they brought this all upon themselves, and they deserve all the like loss of sales, not death threats, of course, but criticism. They deserve all criticism.
Oh yeah,
warranted.
Right.
And I would totally agree if people want to boycott their game for hyping them up to be disappointed just to get clicks, if you want to say.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
which is completely unethical. So, that's my beef. This is a joke, and if it doesn't end with Silent Hills, I'm gonna be fucking going crazy next week. I'm gonna go on the Twitter and really. You guys can talk about whatever you want right now.
That's good content.
I hope it's Silent Hills too.
Oh, I mean,
I hope it is for everyone.
The best horror game ever made.
Yeah.
What's it called? Blue Box Games.
Yeah.
Dude, does this guy look like a game director to you?
He's quite handsome, I must say.
A little too handsome, if you ask
exactly.
me. This guy wasn't in his room making code in college, dude. This dude was busy talking to chicks, doing whatever he wanted. He can't make a game to save his life.
He's too handsome to make a game.
All right, let me look at the tweets and replies. For me, I like going back to when they could be out of character, like right in the beginning.
Mm.
When they their first tweets. I guess I'll just cut the silence out.
I think today that, or maybe this was yesterday, Konami followed Kojima on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah, everybody's like leaning it. This is.
I also looked at the people that they're following.
This account is followed by Greg Miller, Jeff Keighley, and Shinobi602, who's a leaker insider kind of.
I looked at who Blue Box is following. They follow Xbox. Okay. They're following two random fucking game journalists that I looked at. But hold on, I got the tweets.
Oh my God, Rami Ishmael.
So here we go. The first reply that they had, the first thing they respond to is, "What's happening with The Haunting? I have this in my PS5 wish list, but there's been little update on this game over the past few months." They respond, "Hi Mike." Mike, was this you? Thanks for wish listing. The game has been moved to Create Q Interactive. They will make sure that the game will be tip top on PS5. It's on Steam, so I don't know when that's fucking happening.
The game has been moved? What does that even mean?
They outsource it to a different studio.
But
they gave it to.
Right, but when you outsource work like that, it doesn't become that studio's game.
I know. That's like
right. So that's a little strange.
Yep.
By the way, this Blue Box follows. I'm just looking at the followers real quick. They follow that Noir Studio is the studio that worked on The Last of Us Part 2. Blue Box follows them on Twitter. Sorry, keep going, Ken.
The Haunting is still happening, just not by us. Gaming Bolt asked, can you please share email for press requests? Sure thing. press@blueboxgamestudios.com. I imagine that was created when the question was asked. That's not true, because a lot of people have scheduled interviews with the head, and that's another thing. Everyone that had an interview with the head never said anything about the interview.
Well, there was an article.
Schreier had an interview with him,
Jason Schreier,
and all he said was, "I don't think this is expected. And do you think I would be in on this?"
He made the comment about being in on it before he did the interview.
Yeah. So, and then after the interview, no one has said a word.
I couldn't read the article because it was paywalled on fucking
Bloomsburg.
Yeah, it's paywalled. I tried on my phone though. I'm gonna try on my computer and see if I can.
Abandon will not be. It's too soon for a gameplay reveal. Will Abandon have a physical release on PS5? I'm really excited to hear more about the game. Yes, most definitely. This is back in May 23rd. It'll be a cinematic reveal trailer and a gameplay reveal coming soon.
Dude, yeah, I'm just like looking at their tweets right now, and they're all just like very vague. Just company fact. Blue doesn't refer to the color. It refers to something else. Can you guess it? B.L.U.E.
Yeah, it's
Someone is really close. He just doesn't know it.
best level user experience is what it stands for.
Like, there's also the thing I forgot to mention before. This Blue Box Studio is apparently based in the Netherlands. In the Death Stranding director's cut trailer, Sam Bridges, Norman Reedus has a Netherlands patch, flag patch.
Dutch flag. Yeah.
He gets him. The trailer is just him getting in a box. So it's like.
I thought people were taking that more towards Metal Gear, like that he was being on better terms with Konami and getting Metal Gear back.
That too. Who fucking knows at this point?
Yeah.
This isn't honestly, we're talking about Kojima so much. This is also Konami being a shit fucking company as well, because they've done nothing with their IP.
Metal Gear Survive. Have you forgotten?
No, but Silent Hill, I remember there were 2 Silent Hill games to be rumored in development before they just stopped making games altogether and just concentrate on pachinko machines. Yeah, they're a joke and a disaster, and they can't do anything themselves. So the first reply regarding Silent Hill, we want to set things straight. We have no relations with Konami. Silent Hill is owned by Konami. We don't have any relations with Kojima. It was never our intent to tease the name as Silent Hill. We sincerely apologize. And this guy replies, "You have to be joking, right? Did I believe it was for a second?" No, but you can't possibly haven't thought that through before posting when everyone thought it was Silent Hill at first reveal. And then the answer, though. Silent Hill is owned by Konami. We don't work with them. If we had a co-op with Konami, this would have been announced. So again, apologies for the confusion. That was not what he dodged. What he is replying to. He said, how can you guys possibly put Silent Hill, like SNL, when you know everyone's going to think that it's Silent Hill, and then apologize for it? Like, you're joking. Like, this is terrible practice.
Yeah.
Like, even if honestly, even if it does come out that it's Kojima, I have less respect for Kojima for how this all went down. I don't think this is clever. This is bad. Straight up fucking bad. PT is fine. I thought that was very, very clever. No one knew what the fuck was going on. Someone finally beats it, and something gets up. This is really bad.
I need to know. And I think that everyone is being set up for disappointment. Like, I understand that there's all these coincidences, but a lot of them, like this begins with S, ends with L controversy kind of thing, I think some of it is just on the developer's part, just trolling the audience. Whereas anything else, all like the actual evidence that comes from, something like Death Stranding, the more official sources than the games, than Blue Box, don't really convince me. Those actually seem like coincidences, whereas the person's name translating to Kojima and beginning with S and ending with L seems like on purpose trolls. I don't know.
Like someone said, could it really just be survival? Is that what you guys abandon equals survival? But here's another. I hope it was a genuine goof up, but if not, or regardless, it still doesn't deserve some of the crap some people are already throwing at you. And they respond, "We are aware of this. I hope we still convince everyone of the content we will be showing off in the coming weeks. We can guarantee that it will be worth it." That's all they say. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. Like, you won't be disappointed. In what was this? In due time. So what starts with an S and ends with L? And they respond, "In due time, ... And ellipsis. Like, dude. So you're gonna, not only are you gonna deny and apologize for saying Silent Hill, and then someone actually asks what it is, and you're not gonna give the answer. Sure, let's not feed into this firestorm anymore.
Yeah, this rumor mill.
Dude, so in Schreier's article, Carmon says that they're working with Noir and Dekogon Studios both of which Schreier reached out to for comment, and both declined to comment. Dekogon has worked on Godfall, which is a Gearbox game, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
And Noir has worked on
Well,
Marvel's
Godfall
Avengers,
is indie.
What's that?
Godfall is an indie game.
Oh, was it just published by Gearbox?
Yeah.
Okay. Noir has worked on Marvel's Avengers, Halo Infinite, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us Part 2, Death Stranding. In addition to Fortnite, Elder Scrolls Online, Spider-Man. This Spider-Man Days Gone.
So so they refused to comment on this.
They refused to comment to Schreier, yeah.
And Schreier fucking gets everything, it seems, that he wants.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know how to take their silence.
If it
Maybe
wasn't them, they would have spoke.
You think if they weren't involved, they would have?
Yeah, they'd be like,
said
dude,
none
of
of them?
course it's not us. It's fucking Blue Box Games. They would absolutely support another Sony studio if that were. I mean, this is going to be a timed exclusive, it seems.
Mm.
Which Kojima games are.
Damn, they did the ad for Kraken Black Spiced Rum.
Many
wonder what that
talents.
means. I wonder what kind of Easter egg that is.
Here we go. This is what I was talking about earlier. We are confident with the game as it is right now. The teaser back in April was just an announcement of the development. The game itself has never been shown, so we hope that we will still convince everyone with the first time reveal.
I flip every time you read one of these tweets. I flip back and forth between like, this guy is just an idiot and like doesn't
Understand what's going on.
Doesn't know the gravity of what's happening, and then I'm like, this is definitely Silent Hills.
We don't blame them. Silent Hill is an absolute gem. Oh, it is absolutely a gem. We just want to make it up with our next reveal.
There's one tweet, some guys like the tweet where they're like, I forget what he said. We just want to clear the air. This is not. I think it's pinned.
That's the top one.
Yeah, and then somewhere in that thread, a guy's like, so you're saying this still could be Silent Hill? And the response is, ask at Konami. So it's like, you just post this tweet that like, it's not what we think it is. And
if
then,
they threw a rage, right? I feel like that's the only thing that can say. If they literally like, guys, I'm gonna start deleting tweets if you say it's Silent Hill one more time, then I'd believe them. If you're gonna start taking initiative and be like, dude, this is not our game. This is actually ruining the hype now because a lot of people are gonna get turned off. That's fine. Get your audience right, because so many people are gonna be pissed if it's not.
I think it's game over for them.
Yeah, and so Sony as well. Like, just think this goes on to Sony because this is teased as an exclusive. So if this isn't what everyone wants, Sony gets a lot of shit.
Well,
I don't know, dude. I might be a day one abandoned head. We'll see. I'm so intrigued.
We wanted to set things straight. We have no relations with Konami. Silent Hill is owned by Konami. We do not have any relations with Hideo Kojima. It was never our intention to tease the name. We sincerely apologize.
It's just so funny. I mean, we could talk about this in circles forever. And I think it's still more compelling and more fun to talk about than anything else that's happening in the industry right now.
Considering we just had the biggest event in the gaming industry less than a week ago.
So,
and this is still way more exciting.
There was also this. What does Blue refer to in its best level user experience? First one to guess it will get access to the closed alpha version for Abandoned once it's ready. That's a big promise. So,
did anyone get it?
Yes.
Reveal it? Okay. And what are these people saying?
They replied to the PT thing. The app. Hassan Kraman has an Apple developer page. One of the apps is a fitness one.
Oh yeah,
it says
it's the
PT,
fitness app with
and
PT,
they said, yeah, that isn't Hassan Kraman from BB Game Studios.
Oh really?
That's what. Yeah, they replied to the dude. That pinned that to them.
Oh, I'm seeing yet another one. Karaman's PSN account, Sneaky Warrior, has 1,238 total trophies on it. This is the same number as the Silent Hill 4 Japanese commercial.
Dude. There's another number somewhere that was like the date that Silent Hill.
Oh, that
Jeff?
that I
Was
think it
canceled?
was the date. Yeah, that Silent Hills was canceled. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. My goodness.
That's not. These are too many coincidences. That.
Well,
So
or they're
there's
on
another
purpose
part
trolls.
of this circle that we have yet to really touch. This is
And
a
what is
game
that?
that makes zero sense. This is a game studio that has never made a game, right? And Sony's gonna give them exclusivity.
Wait,
Except for the fact that what Mike was saying is that they have some like serious talent working with them, right?
No, they outsourced. They used other studios.
That's a misconception. The fact that it's a Sony exclusive has nothing to do with Sony. I could make a game tomorrow and advertise it as a Sony exclusive. Sony doesn't have to do anything.
No. Sony has advertised this as an exclusive.
Yeah, because they put on the blog and that shit. Didn't they advertise like Black of Life?
Hold on.
What was it? Black Tiger? Life of Black Tiger? They advertised that. They were big behind No Man's Sky like long before its botched launch. I don't know if that really.
Let's see. Where's the Sony? There's a store page for it.
Can you pre-order it right now?
Yeah, here's fucking the blog. Yeah,
PlayStation
abandoned the
blog
cinema.
post.
Where's
Yeah. Cinematic Survival Sim hits PS5 later this year. Posted by Hassan Karaman, game director, Blue Box Game Studios.
I went recently onto the PlayStation Store and looked at Abandoned, and there is a store page with the game, and you can wishlist it.
Mm-hmm.
A cinematic survival sim hits PS5 later this year. No one else is advertising this except Sony.
There's a clip in the trailer where there's some writing on a wall,
Oh yeah, and people say PT.
and
Those
the
are the two
letters
letters.
PT are the only letters that are hidden by a tree.
Oh my goodness.
So here's some other shit, right? But you've never made a game before. Sony has set. We talked about this in part 1. Sony has set the bar so high for quality for their studios. They announced that one studio that was joining Sony, and they had nothing to show for it. Remember?
Yeah, well, that's got some real talent behind it, though.
Yeah, it was guys from Riot and Blizzard, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
I
I think they're longtime Call of Duty veterans.
Yeah.
I thought it was like Raven, but regardless, they're from established studios. They've been in
Yes.
the industry for a while.
And so, like, that's cool that Sony wanted to announce that. This is...
Yeah.
Abandoned will have new gameplay interactions like never before. Trust me, you'll love it. How can a game company that has never made a game say this? You have no credibility. You have nothing at all. You can't say this has not been done because we've seen so many indie games say that, and it has been done. This makes zero sense.
Kev, I really want this game to come out, and if you're not so infuriated that you refuse to play it, I want you to love it so bad.
This
Do you
will
think that's
always
even
be
possible?
tainted. This will always be tainted because of this clickbait shit. For me, you don't
Unless
return
it's
from
not.
this. You've already tainted your name and everything associated. Whether this is Silent, I love Silent Hill. I want a Silent Hill game just as badly as everyone else. It'll be tainted, and that will always be in the back of my mind when I play the game. Like,
The
wow, this was a
console
disaster.
allows us to process high quality motion capture.
I know, dude. Some of this shit. Hold on. The PC community shall rejoice. You sound like Hideo, but you didn't hear me speak with an monocle emoji. Ours will be extremely realistic in terms of graphics and gameplay.
It does. It's crazy though how good that like stock
I thought it looked like
environment
shit.
looks. Yeah, it doesn't run well, but it
No.
looks
It
pretty good.
looked bad. I thought it looked terrible.
I don't know.
Assets, everything looked bad. I remember some people saying, "Oh, the forest looks good," and the smoke.png at the end. I mean, we just saw Forza, man. That looks good. I went back and watched that. It looked garbage. It looked early PS4 days. Good morning. They replied, "Good morning" to you too.
Someone responded to this on April 7th, the day this blog post went up, and said, "Oh, where'd it go? Something's going on here. I'm just gonna say this. Hi, Hideo." Smiley face. That was the day this was published.
Yeah. That's crazy because no one caught on that early. But someone sent a tweet, right? This is what I don't get. Why are you replying to these tweets specifically? Someone tweeted them a picture of Kojima with glasses and a cheeky little curly mustache, right? And they replied to it. He looks Turkish with that mustache. Why? You don't reply to that shit.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is...
It's a mess. It's a mess.
It's one thing for them to be like cheeky in some of this stuff, and
That's
like,
not cheeky though.
I know. Well, some of it is where it's like, oh, just go ask Konami. Is this Silent
Right,
Hill? Oh,
yeah.
we don't know. Who's to say?
That sounds like you're fed up.
But when they come out and say things like, "This is not Silent Hill," like really putting their like,
I'm not
foot
an
down on
actor.
it.
Well, that's
Yeah,
exactly what an actor would say.
Nothing is true. Everything is permitted.
The correct answer is best level user experience. It stands for unique gameplay interactions with unparalleled user experiences. That's what blue stands for.
And so, what's the
so
deal?
hold on. Sorry,
Yeah,
Steve.
go for it.
So they replied. They replied to their own tweet. People will receive a DM for sure. Don't expect it to be anytime soon. This was June 18th. So that makes it seem like it's a complete farce. And they promised, though. They promised that they would get an alpha to Abandoned. Whatever Abandoned would be.
The post for Abandoned's the same length as the blog post for Battlefield 2042.
What does
Insane.
that have
Maybe
to
that's
do?
a fake game too.
So what's the deal with this app that they're talking about also, where you can live stream the trailer on PlayStation or something?
No one really knows.
No. The app is like, yo, we're going to have a presentation to show you how to use the app. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is this?
No one really knows. It was supposed to come out today, right?
Yeah, it got
And
pushed
it got
back
pushed
to
to Friday.
I'm just saying, a separate app to interface with the game sounds like some Kojima shit.
Yeah, no, it does.
That's what I was talking about in the chat. Like, dude, how fucking freaky would it be if you're playing a horror game and like stuff is happening to you in real life? Like your phone rings. You get
But
a
how would
text.
they get that? If
How would
my
they get it?
phone
Sony
rang,
has
I would
my-
call the police and then I would get a lawsuit going that they access private information.
Well, no, it's not private information. They have your email address.
But Apple just has the new thing, ask apps not to the privacy shit. So they don't get that information. And
Sony
now
already has your information.
so they're going to have to go through Sony. A third party goes through Sony to get your private information. That's not how it works. That's against the law.
Unless they just ask you to hand it over.
Yes, they would have to ask you. If your phone rang, that is illegal. That is private information that would have been You weren't.
Well, this is what
I can't
Alana
think of the word.
Pierce. Didn't Alana Pierce tweet something about some kind of like signing a waiver for a game like this?
Was
Does
that like
any-
a mental health thing?
No, a waiver about like
Do you want this shit to
probably-
happen to
right,
you
probably
and
allowing them to
ruin
use
the
your-
surprise?
Yeah.
Mm.
In the age of technology, that can't work because
This is
there are
Game Rant.
thieves out there.
This is an article about new details for Silent Hills reveal that Kojima's last Konami game may have been a truly groundbreaking experience had it not been canceled. Alana Pierce, I heard this is a tweet from Alana Pierce in 2019. I heard that Silent Hills would require you to sign a waiver before playing because it would somehow interact with your real-world self, like by sending you emails or text messages as characters from the game even when you weren't actively playing. That is, when we talk about next generation and we talk about doing something new,
Mm-hmm.
that is literally next level. That is literally that's the scariest shit that could possibly happen in
I would never sign that fucking waiver.
Well, even
but
if
then
it's
you
not
would-
like, you could also, you could think of a way to make that work without actually giving over your like phone number and email address.
Yeah,
like,
I
I
agree.
get
If you
100
had-
robocalls a day. My
But
phone
not
is
e-
ringing constantly.
Right, but not even that. If there just was a separate app that you download on like the Google Play Store or the iTunes App Store that acts like a text messenger service, like a GroupMe that just gets messages from like some central location, that
Sure.
you get notifications that way.
Sure,
You know what I
You
mean?
sign in with your PSN. You sign in with your PSN.
Yeah,
ID.
exactly.
I just have so many problems with that. I just have my dad call me. Very few. I don't like having my number out to anyone, and to think that I would give it to a video game.
So then, what if like Steve's saying, you have this app, you sign in with your PSN ID, and it's through that?
No, because
Yeah.
I'd still be like, I need to know what's gonna happen. If I'm getting anything through my phone, anything outside of the fucking game, no fucking way. I would be terrified. Because how do I know someone isn't gonna steal that shit? That is being transferred.
Steal- What do you-
Just my phone number. How do I know that someone can't hack this and then there's gonna be a huge Sony leak again? Because
Sony
this
already
was.
has all your. They already have all your
I
information.
know.
They have your credit
But
card.
then
They have your
what
phone.
if
They have your
this-
address.
this- I know. But this connection now to another game, someone could hack that because that wasn't protected enough.
Not if it's through Sony and it's.
But that
all,
means there would-
like via
this is gonna be on
API
multiple
from
platforms.
Sony owns that information. It wouldn't be like.
But it's to a third
Sony
party.
Would be, Sony wouldn't be giving that information to this developer to then use as they see fit. It would be the developer hitting Sony to pull that information and then use it however they need to for whatever the fuck the game would do.
Yeah, it's the
Only-
same way that it's
Only
the
if it
same
was
way
in
that
the
a lot
code.
of it's the same way that a lot of websites that you go on to when you create an account, you can just log in through Facebook. It's not like
Yes.
now this
yes.
like random third party like sketchy ass website has all of your Facebook information.
That's a great example.
How do they
Thanks.
call your phone then?
Sony has
Well,
all this
if you-
information already.
Well, not even that, but not even if they wouldn't need your actual phone number. It's something like if you download Google Voice, it gives you a new phone number that they create that someone can call. Or if
I
you download GroupMe, they don't have your text phone number, but you can still
Right.
receive messages to it. Something like that, just a third-party messaging calling app.
There's still just no way that I'd be okay with it. No matter
Yeah,
the
fair enough.
no matter what the fucking circumstances. I don't.
Yeah.
I hate when people just call me anyway. So I don't want anything that's a video
Tim,
game,
I think
especially.
You're taking this. I think you're taking it a little too literally. That's just the execution would not be that your phone's actually going to ring with a phone number and you're like, who the fuck is this? It could just be that they use some kind of extended experience, some kind of third party app or whatever it is to enhance the experience and always kind of unsettle you even when you're not next to your TV.
No,
The
fuck that. I
only-
want some guy showing up to my front door with a chainsaw, dude, and a mask on.
The
And just
only
hands
way-
me a letter and walks away.
The only way I'm okay with this is if they
Budget
give
for
you
this game is crazy.
is when they give you a phone when you buy the game. That's the only way I'm okay with it. They would have to
That would be crazy too, dude. What?
because that would be much better for me because then I know that everything is in this bubble of the game.
But that's the point. That's the whole point. That's the whole point is that it's true horror because you don't. Your phone rings. Just kind of forget about the data. Forget about what your phone rings late at night. You're not playing the game. You just did a stint. It's scary as fuck. You don't know what's going on. Your phone rings, and only your dad calls you. So your phone rings and you answer, and someone starts saying some shit like, you have to come help me. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know where I'm. You have to come help me. And it's like the voice of the character in the game, and you're like, oh, fuck.
Okay, so
that's scary. It's invading the ideas that it's pervading into your personal life.
right, okay.
Right? When you turn off the console, the game's not over because it's still kind of. That's compelling. We're always talking about not having new experiences, and that is. There's nothing like that. I'm surprised that you wouldn't even want to give it a chance.
So that specific situation you brought up happened to me in high school. I remember it was my sophomore year. I woke up with a voice message. I don't even have my mailbox set up anymore because of this. Someone said, I don't know if they're going to make it. I'm not sure. It's
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
I had a nerve.
I called my...
fucked up. I wouldn't play this game either.
I fucking called my mom immediately to make
Yeah.
sure she was okay. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Are you kidding me? So that happened to me in high school. I was 16 years old. And someone just randomly calls and leaves a message. Yeah, I don't think they're going to make it, man. Like, you might have to get down here. Like, this is bad.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't be playing this game either if I knew that. So.
That's exactly why this whole idea is fucked. And
Yeah.
I would never go near a game like it. Because that in real life is not fun. I don't want any simulation of that. No one needs to experience that. Because let's just say someone's not aware of this. It would have to be in the biggest bold fucking letters because privacy is like a luxury. And when that gets violated or feels to be violated, you don't feel safe anywhere. And if a video game's something that I'm supposed to sit down and enjoy and have my mind wander, Silent Hill 2, like, I don't know what's going on. Then you play it 8 times and you realize everything's about James. Holy fuck, that's clever. That's fine. Keep it in the game. I enjoyed that. Yes, it's truly terrifying, but they worked hard to get that terror. That's cheap to me. You're going to call my phone?
It sounds like they just want to scare the shit out of you.
This is a
however
jump
they
scare.
can.
Yeah, this is a jump scare for me. This is, okay, cool. This is like as popcorn horror as you can get. Keep that away from my fucking video games. Go fuck yourself, along with this whole marketing bullshit. Yeah, I'm very against everything that's going on with this. I'm very negative, and it has no place in the world of video games. So another part I didn't bring up, I feel bad for any indie developer. Because
who's
of
getting
this.
overshadowed by this bullshit.
Yep, fuck that. I would be... I don't... If this is Silent Hill, maybe it takes that off a little. I don't give a fuck. Hideo Kojima, if this is him... I'm fucking furious either way. If this is Kojima, then he's out of touch. Completely out of touch with what regular game developers have to go through just to get one play. Meanwhile, I'm going to create a fucking separate game studio that's fake, go through all this Twitter bullshit, and people are still going to buy my game. Fuck you. That's pathetic. You're an arrogant piece of fucking shit. That's how I feel towards Kojima at this point. You are completely out of touch with the guys that made Valheim. The guys that made the Witness. Where they have to fucking earn everything you do to get them to play the game. He's like, man, I don't have to fucking do anything. Fuck you. You should never ever leave that connection with the smaller devs. It's bullshit. Fucking hate that.
I don't know if I agree. Just because this is it taking away more eyes from indies than any other like big campaign would?
No, it's the fact the only reason this indie dev is being looked at is because it's Silent Hill and Kojima. That's it.
Right, or because it might be.
So that tells all other indie devs, oh, if you're not somehow connected, then you're not going to get 1 million plays. Sorry.
And the only way to do it is to lie and mislead your audience
and be a complete asshole. This could be a fucking disaster for things to come.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing.
This is such a unique. I don't think that the way that this is going is going to change. Look what happened with No Man's Sky. They were already doing shit like this before.
That was because of Sony, though. Sony gave them that money, and then they had to. Then in interviews, they started pulling back. No, you can't do that. You can't. No. Because they had to release a game then, they had to pull back all expectations somehow. Because originally they wanted to release the game way off into the future and have everything in the game like they're starting to put back in now. And they actually showed that.
Right, but it's still their fault for first hyping up Sony beyond what they were capable of delivering, and it took them how many years to get the game to the state that it is
right
now.
The fault is with Sony for demanding the product.
My point is that this from indie devs has happened before. It's not like this is all of a sudden a new thing where this game is misrepresenting what it is and is trying to get people hyped because they're... Look at Cyberpunk. I mean, it's not just these indie... Like, this is not, I don't think, a symptom of the industry changing or anything.
But
it's an isolated clusterfuck scenario with this one game and all this rampant...
do disagree because the only reason people got hyped about No Man's Sky is when Sony got involved and gave them marketing money. If it wasn't for that money, we don't hear about that game. No fucking way. Same thing with Abandoned. The only reason this indie-looking game got involved is because Sony and then Kojima. No one cared when it was just Sony. But now Kojima and Silent Hills, people care. It's fucked up. That's not right. Because that's like saying... I make my album. I finally finished my album, put it out, 10 people listen to it. Meanwhile, a friend of mine makes an album, but they have a feature from someone that's like, I don't know anyone in the rap game or just anything. Just for example, Tom York features on that album.
Mm-hmm.
And his album is by far worse aside from that one feature. Everyone's going to listen to that because of Tom York. No one's going to listen to mine. That's my problem with this. No one cared about his until Tom York got involved. 10 people cared about mine and they listened to it, and then maybe that expanded to 12. That's how it should be, and then the next time, maybe that grows to 24, then 50. You can't bypass that growth stage by name dropping. You can. Yeah. You'll just always be name called.
I really just want to fast forward to Friday at this point.
Either way, it's a disaster, and I'm not happy with anyone involved. Unless it's Ratchet Deadlocked Remastered, baby!
Definitely a possibility. We can't count it out. We don't know much yet.
To be honest, if this comes out that it's Splinter Cell, everything would be taken back a little, to be honest.
Where did you see that this is Splinter Cell?
Just the S and the L.
S and L. Some people thought Splinter Cell.
No, there's none of the evidence points to Splinter Cell.
No, it's the fact that they haven't showed the game yet, and an abandoned IP, Splinter Cell. People, dude, when you're longing for a game, they'll jump at anything.
That seems a little. There's no evidence. Like, none of the teases, the stuff that we've seen, is.
Agreed, and I don't think Ubisoft's capable of it. But at the same time, I don't fucking know. Just like no one knows. But what we can do is just criticize or be what we think about this marketing stunt.
What's his... Hassan knows. Hassan may be the only one who knows.
Did you guys see the picture on the tweet of the video? It's Kojima holding this huge fucking rifle. Is like right next to him is the picture. I don't know how anyone could be okay with this.
Mostly just
it's because no,
exciting.
you know why? It's because people don't think. I mean, people just react based on emotion, and they hear Silent Hill, but people aren't thinking about this and the effects that this could have. Look at Valheim. That game just got popular because some streamer started playing it or something. You know, that just caught on Steam. Holy shit! Everyone starts playing it. They didn't name drop anyone. They earned that shit because of a good product.
Yeah. Look at
Sony,
Among Us, your
Kojima, Silent
favorite
Hills. There you go. That's all you need to fucking sell a game. I really want to know, like, are you guys are okay with this? Like, think outside of emotion and, oh, this is kind of cool because we don't get this in the industry. Kev, you're being a bore because you want everything to be formal. I'm just trying to be fair to how everyone else can do it. It has to be an even playing field.
Go ahead.
I think it's only okay if it is Silent Hill. And even to that point, I think them coming out and to the bore thing, I think that if it is Silent Hill and they made that long tweet saying how they're not affiliated with any of the other Silent Hill parties, that's, even if it's not like that bad morally, I think that ruins the fun of it. But
they
yeah,
were
if it's
caught
not
immediately, and then they tried to hide it. Just like the writers of Lost were caught when, after the first episode, people knew and wrote in that, oh, they're in purgatory, aren't they? And then they had to go on this whole fucking ride to try and do this convoluted ending, and where it's not purgatory, and it's the... You get caught, and you try to go around what you decided on.
Yeah.
Damn, I was just about to start watching Lost, but now I can't.
I think the statute of limitations on those spoilers is long past, Mike. I think so.
I missed my chance.
I won't spoil Citizen Kane for you though if you're trying to get around to that one too.
Thank you so much.
What is this? Hold on. Hi, my name is Kojima. I got hit in the head and I forgot my main account's login, and also if I'm working on Silent Hill, can you let me know if I'm involved with this? To prove it's me, I'll sign this tweet. Kojima. Try Otakon, do you read me? That's what they replied with. I don't know what that means.
It's a Metal Gear Solid reference.
So this guy knows Metal Gear. This tweet guy, I guess. Live event coming soon. I'm afraid that once we reveal this cinematic trailer, people would find more rumors and not believing it's us. Wait, what did I just read?
Who tweeted that?
What is this picture? Does this look sus, Daniel? The number 4 and...
Gotta drop a link.
Maybe some kanji? I'd have to exit out of Discord. I don't know how I could put it in
or share
chat.
the screen.
Oh yeah, true. Good point. Oh, that takes me out. Oh, I can't full screen Discord.
Oh, damn. Okay.
What are you looking at?
Someone put this... Does this look sus? I'm on their replies. Blue Box Game Studios. They reply to it. This is just a very early development screen. Nothing related with Hideo Kojima. What did that guy say? Are we getting a... Oh, where did that reply go?
What's the picture of?
It's at 129 in the abandoned announcement trailer, and he circled the ground to the left of the tree.
I see a lot of people also in the replies to Blue Box when they said Abandon is different. You can't compare an open world game to PT. A lot of people saying that there's no way that this is actually a small indie game. Saying it's an open world photorealistic survival horror at 4K 60 frames per second. Seems like a big budget. Or 50 plus people working on it and access to 7 outsourcing studios, if I read correctly, is far away from an indie game.
Yeah.
Things like that. Yeah.
To go
I-
back to my point is, how does Sony get hop on to this studio when literally they just gave um, The Haunting to another studio?
If you, I just have to say, Kev, if you've forgotten, Sony's PR is some of the worst PR in any major gaming corporation. They are awful,
Right.
terrible. So it's very possible that this game, this guy, let's say this is this abandoned game, this guy goes to Sony PR and he pitches, look how photorealistic this trailer is. We're making this game. It's going to use the DualSense. It's exclusive 4K 60. And Sony's like gobbling that shit up. Oh, yeah, we'll give you a blog post. Make sure you keep it exclusive. It doesn't. They took his bait. I mean, that's fine. If this game didn't have all of these weird connections, my guess is it would never show up again on the blog, on
Right.
whatever. It would just kind of go away.
It would
But
be where it deserves to be.
it's still gonna be there if it's not Silent Hills.
I know, because of this. And it should have never gotten to this stage. The whole thing that sparked it was abandoned equals SL. You can't say that.
Realistic character interaction.
All they say, you'll see it soon, it'll be worth it. I don't know how come you can't just detail the game? Like, what is going on in the game? What are we
I don't
doing?
think they have a game. I don't think they have
Exactly.
a game.
So they keeps. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it.
Pretty weird. It says Q4 2021, which would be holiday season 2.
Also, you can find a picture of just about any fucking game director in the world.
Except this guy.
Except until he posts this video and says he's this guy.
It's pretty fucking wild.
Like, I
I'm
found
looking
the
at the
picture
comments
of
on
the guy who
blog.
did Godfall of... You can find... Well, that's, like, I guess kind of big. But still recent. You could probably find pictures of the guys that made Valheim.
All these comment threads on the PlayStation blog the day it was posted are talking about Kojima.
Oh, what's this? I will
So
believe
crazy.
only if Sony also confirms this and makes a statement to support you guys and grant you exclusivity. It's pretty suspicious that they keep being silent. They replied...
That's not... No. That
Ho-
Sony doesn't have to do anything to grant anybody exclusivity. That's not how it works.
Hold on, this is what they replied with, though. Sony helps indies all the time. They are also awesome and tolerant towards indies of all sizes, so they have nothing really to respond to.
Right.
Very rarely hear about any indies working with Sony. It's usually Xbox or Epic in the past 5 years.
No. What about the whole XDev initiative? There's been tons of...
And Steam. Everything goes to Steam, I feel.
No, Sony's worked with plenty of...
No Man's Sky would be, I guess, one.
What does works with even mean? There's a post here about Axiom Verge 2, Salted Sacrifice, which is the sequel to Salted Sanctuary. This is just the top of the block. The Persistence is an indie game. I mean, there's tons of indie games that are coming to PlayStation. Chicory, A Color to... What the fuck is this?
But are they being funded by Sony?
Is this game being funded by Sony?
No, but what Game Pass lets they cover the cost, right? Like, I wouldn't consider.
Yeah, but to get them on Game
Steam
Pass, it's different.
You have to make a deal with the publisher, and then if it works out, then they agree. It's the guy, Rose, whatever his name was, on.
I don't know. Is this even relevant to?
Well, it's relevant to the of Sony and indies. Like, this guy wants Sony to confirm that, like they confirmed with No Man's Sky, and hyped up the marketing for it. They've kept silent. They're letting this shit storm happen. You would think if it's really bad, Sony would be like, look, oh my god, they're going to see a huge drop off. Or they're like, you know what? I don't really give a shit. We need fucking views right now. Fuck it. We can be unethical too. Why not? We're just guys in suits, unlike Phil Spencer over there with a big old dick in his hand.
Slung over his shoulder.
Oh, what's this guy? Stop pulling the cat by the balls. Don't pull the rubber. You created a hype and now write some excuses for yourself. Do you all understand what you are doing? What for to play on the expectations of people? Why tease S and L, things like that? They replied, if you could understand whatever I just said through that broken fucking English.
Mm-hmm.
We mentioned this over and over. The game is announced being a survival horror shooter game that emulates realism. So we figured people might have guessed the word survival in it. Nothing less, nothing more. Just simple as that.
Yeah, some people just think that the game is called Survival, which is the S and the L. I mean, hard to say.
You would think maybe after tweeting that you delete the tweet real quick. And then be like, shit, sorry, people took that the wrong way, and you don't mention Silent Hill. Like, there's a lot of things they could have done to remove their association with Silent Hill and Kojima. But they didn't. They said, no, we'll keep that going. Why not? It's good for us.
Except for their currently pinned tweet.
I'm getting to that. We have never... What? This guy said, we don't want your live stream, so that can get delayed also. You obviously hinted at Silent Hill quite a bit with many different clues. If this isn't Silent Hill, then I feel bad for the time and effort you just put into this game, to be honest. By the way, Kojima, that means to be honest. Okay, whatever. They replied, we have never hinted at Silent Hill. We have even rejected it shortly after it. Also, Silent Hill is an IP of Konami. We have nothing to do with them, and even if that was, that would have been announced.
I don't know how much more data we're going to draw up on this thing.
We are completely honest. Like, some of these replies seem genuine. You guys fucked up, though. I can't feel bad for you. How can you
End
go
of the
from a
day,
shitty...
If you guys had to call your shot on this right now, do you think this is Silent Hill? I'll start.
I know I fucking do.
And I'm going to say no. I'm going to say if I had to put money on it, I'm going to say I don't think this is Silent Hill.
No, I don't think it is either. And it hurts me to say.
How can you go from a shitty website template to another shitty website template and be an indie developer and make a fucking AAA game? Your investment makes no sense to me. I've never seen an indie without a clean website and at least a way to get news via email. That's very true. Even when Dungeon Defenders Awakened was coming out, the website wasn't special, but they had a website and it just said when it was coming, and you could get email. You could follow them on Twitter, and they would send you newsletters and whatnot, tell you what to get hyped up about. I mean, they don't even have a website, these guys. It's like projects coming soon or whatever. It's a joke.
Yeah,
it's a fucking joke. It's
we will be
the most
right back.
unprofessional thing.
Yep, it's just got their logo and their email address.
Which, once again, this seems like the worst choice for Sony to come close to. Like, you're going to support these guys? You guys are very refined.
I'm trying to think of, like, the smoking gun and how you could refute it logically.
What do you mean? Like, refute what?
Like, the name translation, it could just be a coincidence because, like... I was messing around with Google Translate and like it doesn't, like it's kind of like a leap that it translates to Hideo Kojima.
Or just Hideo, I think. Just one of the names was supposed to be translates to Hideo.
Yeah, because the word means like I think both of those first names mean like hero in their respective languages.
Right.
Yeah, that's all like
So like if
tinfoil hot
right,
shit
you could
to
say
me.
that's a coincidence, but like working with that Noir studio, I don't know. I want it to be real so bad.
I know. Kev, gun to your head. What do you think? Is this Silent Hill?
I have no fucking idea.
You gotta pick one. That
Um,
answer's not allowed.
I'm holding
no,
up a gun to your head
no,
right now.
I honestly,
Whoa, Steve!
what?
I'm gonna shoot you
He's
through
pointing
Discord
at-
right now, dude.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at Twitter.
What's the
Oh
answer?
yeah,
It's
look
all
at
good.
Steve.
Oh, I'm looking. Oh
You
god.
got the guns.
Answer me.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I don't think it is. However, last time we thought Kojima was gonna be at Xbox, and he
did.
wasn't.
Didn't we? We all said yes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a second. So it's Silent Hill confirmed.
Because we're never wrong.
They tweeted, let's just hope that Konami makes a Silent Hill that this new gen deserves. I just
Fox
don't get how
tweeted
do you not tweet in fucking 6 years of being on Twitter? How do you not like Twitter's a great way to support yourself and get yourself out there.
Don't know.
And you have I don't know. It's that one is fake. Like these guys. The app will be launched. What the fuck app? We've never seen this. I did start with modding games. If you're an actual real indie game studio, how did you start making games? Making Half-Life mods or Doom mods? If not, then I guess it's not a real indie studio. Actually, I did start with modding games. Dot. Did Kojima start with modding games? We have nothing to do with PlayStation Studios. We're just a small indie team working with Sony. How can you be a small indie team working with Sony and promise these fucking things that Ratchet and Clank didn't even deliver on? Like, this is what I'm saying about Sony, and how can you let them go? You just had Ratchet and Clank only on the PlayStation 5 this works. Dude, these guys are hyping this up as even bigger than that. I do feel that I have to debunk rumors. I myself am truly hyped regarding my own game, and I just want to focus on the game. That's all. I didn't even enjoy the rumors at all. That's such a lie! That's like saying my album comes out and it gets a bunch of bad PR for some reason. And I'm going to sit in the corner and say, yeah, no, I don't deserve it. Fuck no. More people are talking about my shit. There's no such thing as bad PR.
I mean, you seem to think that there is, because if this game comes out and it's not Silent Hill, then it's doomed.
I think there's unethical PR, which is what I was banging on about. I was more about that.
But do you think that'll hurt the game in the long run?
No, people are still going to fucking listen to it. That's
Yeah.
what sucks, but it's unethical.
The Last of Us did that.
Yeah, look, Joel was in a cutscene and then they swapped him out. Unethical. Completely unethical. It's false advertising. It's lying. Whatever. I don't think it's not bad PR. Obviously, they're booming because of this.
Yeah, right.
But unethical. Yeah, it's a very unethical.
Well, I think at this point we're mostly just reading tweets, seeing what else
This has been the whole thing. Yeah, we've been talking about this the whole time. So.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I think that was fun. I think this is it's exciting. This is like the mystique.
I'd like to talk about it more still.
The chase is more fun than the actual.
Whatever the news is.
Yeah. Like all the rumors. I mean, we were talking about Game Pass being announced for Switch.
Mm.
Yeah, nothing
Like,
we said
what
came.
in hindsight, what like a far-fetched, but the possibility of it was more tantalizing than what we actually got. This is the same thing.
Right. And I hate to bring it back to the E3 discussion, but like I think that that's what happened this year for so many people, and our podcast included, was so many hype expectations for what's E3 going to be now that it comes back, and I don't know, what we got was not quite up to those standards.
Yeah.
I mean, Steam didn't do anything. They announced their Steam Fest.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft ended up having too much to even show that what we wanted, it couldn't fit into their presentation. I mean, they had so much they needed a second day on Thursday to finish it off. Sony didn't show up, which and after seeing this, that was a fucking disaster not to do. They should have showed up and got this shitstorm out of the way. To be honest, well, I'm not looking forward to this at all, personally. I'm looking forward to Mario Golf this Friday. Honestly.
How do you feel if you're Microsoft and you just blew your load not all of your teams, but what a lot of your teams are working on, new IPs, Halo's back on track, and then all everyone's talking about is Sony, who wasn't even at E3 because of this just crazy rumor train.
It's Silent
crazy.
Hill. I feel like it is more Silent Hill, and then kind of everything connected comes back to Sony. People just want Silent Hill.
Yeah.
If this isn't, I mean, people are gonna go back to Xbox as soon as this is done. People are gonna forget about this.
The thing is, if this isn't Silent Hill, it better be a wake-up call to Konami or whoever that they need to make a Silent Hill game soon, because they are going to sell like gangbusters. Because clearly, if they didn't know that people were hungry for it, now they do.
People have always been hungry. I mean, when Downpour came out, people were fucking excited about it, but it was terrible.
What is that? Is that a Konami game? Oh, Silent Hill Downpour?
Yeah. The game runs at like 15 frames per second on the 360. I played through it with my sister. It's not good.
It sells for $100 at Walmart now.
That's the thing. People want a Silent Hill game to be announced. If it's not good, people won't play it. I'm telling you.
The protagonist's name. Do you know what the protagonist's name is, Kev?
Well, it started with an H.
Do you know, Steve?
I have no idea.
His name
Hillman?
is
Murphy
Pendleton.
Yeah. Very Silent Hill sounding name.
That's pretty good. Murphy Pendleton.
There's so many performance problems with that game. Konami I don't know what's going on with them. I haven't even heard anything about Pez. That seemed to be the only game they were putting any effort in to do.
Dude, I'm looking at the screenshots of Silent Hill Homecoming. Iconic, dude. I remember playing this game in a friend's house on like a little CRT TV with a walkthrough that was printed on paper, and it was like this. It had to be over 100 pages, this walkthrough, because we didn't know how the fuck to beat the game, and so we printed this crazy thing out and we're flipping through like this step-by-step guide to get through it.
I have a Silent Hill Homecoming on PS3. The game was alright. I think it had a right to be more action-oriented because Alex Shepard was in the military, so that makes sense. It was just too much. It was very Resident Evil 4. You just kind of went through areas. You couldn't proceed until you killed all the enemies, I think. I gotta say the porcelain boss was terrifying when I first got there. I ended up going with the UFO ending in that game. Which is kind of funny.
Porcelain boss, I don't remember. Silent
Oh, I didn't realize that Konami was also adding to the hype of this with their own Twitter.
Oh, I haven't looked at Konami.
Wait, what?
Yeah. On June 19th, they posted a picture of Pyramid Head with like Silent Hill over it, and it said coming soon. But it was the official Konami shop, so I don't know if that's just like merch or something.
But why
Konami
would they be
announces
releasing merch right
new
now?
Silent Hill skateboard. Wario64 tweeted that out.
Why would they be doing that if it was just like merch doesn't just merch coincides with something?
Yeah. What is this? Yeah. Yeah, they posted 3 days ago a picture of like this like stylized picture of Pyramid Head saying coming soon.
Oh my god.
What the fuck has happened to Konami, dude?
Oh
I
my
really
God.
don't. They are so Japanese, aren't they? In terms of their culture and not taking risks. They don't.
This sounds pretty damn risky. I don't know.
They haven't made a Silent Hill game in a decade almost.
Right.
That's safe because their other games haven't sold, so they're not taking a risk of making another one no matter who it is. They fucking canceled Kojima. Their most surefire way to sell Silent Hill again. Canceled. Yep. They don't... The Japanese culture does not like risk.
Wonder if we'll ever find out what happened there that caused them to go separate ways.
I mean, the official kind of story was just that, or the leading narrative, I guess, was that Kojima was just asking too much, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
But who knows? I'm sure there was more behind the scenes than we know.
Dude, they do a lot of retweet of Yu-Gi-Oh shit.
Do they?
Official Konami shop. They have the Pyramid Head thing. Is that what you're talking about, Steve? Yeah, mate. Yeah. Almost everything that's not Silent Hill is Yu-Gi-Oh.
Weird.
Oh, Bomberman? That's another one people want. People miss Bomberman.
Bomberman.
They have like these IPs that they just we're not gonna do anything because it might fail. I don't blame them though. Silent Hill isn't surefire.
Yeah, horror games in general aren't.
Especially Silent Hill, which was always designed to be the most pure horror possible. With 1, 2, 3, I guess 4. And then Homecoming 5 drifted away from it being more... it started to go towards the trend. Silent Hills has to be not the trend. It's not about set pieces at all. It's not about things happening. It's just about the world being static and the character. Which is why I kind of didn't like PT too much, because I had too many set pieces.
You think so?
Yeah, I had the baby fetus, Lisa, the jump scares, the fridge hanging from the ceiling or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's a dynamic world. It's not static. If it was just the hallway and nothing changed, except maybe how the hallway looked in terms of the walls being more decrepit, and the sounds played.
It was just the hallway that changed.
But it changed so drastically, it actually added assets into it. Well, what Silent Hill would really do is it would just be the same, but it would be a different color and the sounds. That's it. There's nothing actually there. But what's fucked up?
Well, what do you think like Pyramid Head is? Isn't that basically what Lisa replaced?
That is the one set piece in Silent Hill 2.
Okay.
Him, because I mean, for me, the terrifying part is Other Hospital, just how it looks, the feel. I know there's nothing there. I can't play the game. That is true horror. That's fucked up. when it gets dark outside, and I've played this part 6 times, and all I know, okay, yeah, there's some bubblehead nurses out there, and that's it. But the fucking look of the walls, it looks horrifying, and the sounds, I can't play. I gotta shut it off. PT was more, yeah, here's the fetus, sounds, there's someone behind you at all times. It's not psychological. It feels cheap to me. That's what it felt to me. Yeah, it's scary. True, it's terrifying. But it's not as clever as what Silent Hill was. Not even close. To get to what Silent Hill 2 did and 1, where you know nothing's there and you can't die. You really can't. It's really hard to die. But you're terrified still, and it's the most horrifying
that's
experience.
Pretty much all of PT is that you can't die,
Well,
save for
she could
a
break your
couple
neck.
jump scares.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not most of it though.
Yeah.
I
the jump scares. There's no
screaming
jump
at the
scares in
TV.
Silent Hill 2.
Like screaming my head off playing PT.
Yeah.
Like you get kind of lulled into this like kind of rhythm, and you're going through, and nothing's really changing, and then the fridge and like, or she's out the window. It's just like you're so unsettled. It's just a different approach. I don't know. I don't think that PT was cheap. That game scared the fucking shit out of me. Scared the shit out of me.
There's a look. I think the motion blur helped a lot, honestly. The motion blur in that game makes me fucking sick. And that really gives you the sense of when you turn the camera, it unsettles you. And that's why I think it's just cheap. It's not, okay, let's put you in a fucking actual environment where you're not leaning on the motion blur and this other shit. Try to match what Silent Hill 2 did. Because that's what people want.
Game. We'll see. We had a playable teaser. It's like comparing a $60 game
Yeah, I don't
to
think
a
the
teaser.
game would have been like that either. My biggest response to that is, you don't get Norman Reedus to be in the game and not show his model the entire game.
Right.
It's just a waste of money.
Right.
It's just not how that works. I remember, did you ever see the concept trailer for Silent Hills? Or maybe it was I think it was for PT, really. But it was very Silent Hill-like. This dude opens the door, and it's a ball that goes in, and the door shuts, and then he opens it, and it's a head, and then there's that big one-arm thing coming down the hall.
Oh, yes.
This looks so cool. And the walls tearing. I'm like, whoa, this is fucking cool. It's so strange because, so another part of Homecoming that sucked is that it bit into what the movies did, where the walls peeled to go into the other world, while in 1, 2, and 3 you had to do puzzles to get there, and it wasn't a dramatic change. You opened a door and then it was just you would hear the sirens ring. Now the sirens ring, cutscene plays, wall peels, big thing. This is the famous Silent Hill thing. Instead of, no, there's a fucking point why this is happening right now.
When did this teaser come out?
I was in college.
Did this teaser come out after PT or before?
I think it was during. I think it was after it released, and it was a Silent Hills concept or whatever.
Was that the trailer that was in the game?
No. This was a
separate,
different
okay.
one. It was like a Japanese concept or whatever. Another thing that people are listening now to the Abandoned trailer. We didn't talk about this yet. And about religion, gods, and then my argument there gets cut off short. Silent Hill's never about wealth. They
Never
said,
about
oh, there's a
wealth?
religious nut. And people thinking about Dahlia from Silent Hill 1. And in my opinion, Silent Hill 1's great, but it wasn't as strong as 2. Simply because 1 was about Alyssa. Oh, I forget her name. This girl in a hospital bed. You're in her Silent Hill, essentially. Everything's around her. instead of Silent Hill 2 where everything's about James, which I think that's much better. I'd rather the world react to the character you're playing than someone else. Because Evil Within was like that, where you're in the Ruvik's head, so it's about him, not
Other
you.
people's minds. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's
and
not
you
personally
kind of
terrifying.
you don't care. Yeah, you don't really care. You lose the connection. It's just a stretch with that. You're seeing gods. Like, the first game was about religion. Like, the rest not so much.
I gotta marathon these games.
If you can find to.
Yeah, right.
The thing is, Konami did a shit job porting all of them to PC anyway. They had crash failures, corrupted saves were common in Silent Hill 2, I remember.
That's one thing I hear a lot of time is the better technology made the fog worse.
Yeah, don't play the remaster of them. That's the thing. These games, I swear, it's hard. I was in Western Plaguelands in World of Warcraft, and I remember back in the day, 2004, that game was labeled as a horror game. It had horror elements, and there's some parts that would scare the fucking shit out of me.
In World of Warcraft?
World of Warcraft, yeah. Even to this day, some things are disturbing. There's these insect parts that are just like these huge. You have to see it to believe it. But anyway,
You have to see it to believe.
but I walked past this little arch, and it had this very low texture stuff just hanging from it, and that unsettled me right away. I said to myself, you know what? If that was high res, high texture assets, I could care less. No, that's pretty. But when it's something about that low res shit where there's a lot to be interpreted by us, when it's not specific, but the developers were definitely specific about it, that's why it's there. There's something about that low res shit that scares the shit out of me.
Some uncanny valley shit, yeah.
Like, Resident Evil on the PlayStation 1 is scarier than the remake on the GameCube. Somewhat. That the lighting in the remake is way better. The remake's fucking scary, honestly. It's very insane.
RE2?
No. The GameCube one that Mikami made.
Right. Yeah, the port.
Which is crazy. Mikami made 4 and that remake. And then Evil Within.
Masters of their craft.
So he was responsible for the original Silent Hill, fucking Resident Evil, tank controls and set cameras, and then he reinvented the genre with the action.
I just want to see what a new next-gen Silent Hill is going to be like. If we ever get it. If Konami ever gets off their ass and makes it.
We didn't talk about E3 at all. There were some things that we needed to, like Elden Ring we needed to talk about. That deserves to be talked about, because in my opinion, that's bigger than fucking...
Compared to this, Abandoned...
Dude, Elden Ring... People have calmed down. That's it. Once Abandoned goes away, that's it. Elden Ring is still the hype. It's just because a little blip has come up, which is awesome. It's just how life works. People are going to get excited for this. Just like if this was Elden Ring now, and Silent Hills was announced 2 weeks ago, people would have forgotten about Silent Hill, and they'd be talking about, oh my god, Elden Ring reveal. But now it's just abandoned because it could be Silent Hill. That's just how it works, and then it'll go away, and it'll go back to Elden Ring.
Yeah.
But Elden Ring, dude, I had a reaction to it, but it didn't save. I didn't have
reenact it now.
The VODs. Well, I went through the trailer of the reveal. Fuck, dude, this game looks awesome.
It does. It really does. And I'm not terribly familiar with the From games. I don't have quite the pedigree with them, but that art looked beautiful. That combat looked incredible. The open world looks actually teeming with life and creativity and originality, and Yeah, I mean, dude, Elden Ring looks like something truly next gen and something really cool.
I've got a lot to say on this because, I mean, going through frame by frame, you got to see a lot of things. But, Mike, I want to know what you thought about Elden Ring.
I think it looks great. They do character and enemy design better than I think anybody. I'm excited for it. I'm not. It's one of those games I know I'm gonna play, but I'm not gonna get too excited because I saw everything that I need to see. I've seen it all. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna love it. I know that. That's it. So it's almost like I can now kind of compartmentalize and move on because the build up was there, the reveal was there. I think they showed too much, to be honest. They showed so much
They
of the
did.
game. So much, so many enemies, so many boss designs, so much of like the way you traverse the world. It's like, oh, I almost wish I saw like half. But I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. That's it. It's done. I'm in. I don't need to see any more. They did it not perfectly, almost perfectly. I wish it was a bit shorter. But I think because of the anticipation and because of the build-up, they felt they needed to really blow out with what they showed.
Right. Do you feel that it had length because they have a lot to show, and a lot because of George R.R. Martin?
It's possible that they still there's still so much we haven't seen. I don't know how that would be possible. This would be like the best game of all time if that was like
just the tip of the iceberg.
If that was a tip of what they have to, there's no way. I think they showed a little too much. I'm in. I'm buying it day one. That's one of those games like GameFly, like no fucking shot. Like I need to play that right away.
Right.
So,
for me, when I was watching it, I thought this world seems amazing. I immediately thought. Also, quick aside: George R.R. Martin is marketing this game because this is the first thing he's worked on since Game of Thrones. Put that into perspective.
Yeah.
This was what his job was. He put out the last book, and then it's been Elden Ring. How fucking cool is that? And the team partnering with From seems perfect. I've never seen a game where the hype met the reveal to me. This is huge coming from me. This is the first game world that I've wanted to explore since World of Warcraft. This world looks unfucking real. Just juicy, flowing with character and history. So much history you can just tell. That very clean, like castle-looking interior when he's stealthing behind those two guys. Oh my god, you can just imagine George R.R. Martin has something beautiful there that he created, that instead of just being an item lore now, it's actually going to be in the game. The horse can fucking fly, and you can just summon it like that. Oh my god, there's going to be co-op, it seems, based on it. Sword and board spells. Oh, the fucking forest reminded me of WoW, where you're fighting you're casting a spell. These beautiful just forests with good fog to not make sure you don't see too far really makes things look massive and make the world feel varied. There's the dragons, the fucking when the dragon caught the lightning. Oh, that was the fucking coolest thing ever, dude. Oh my god. It seems that, and the jumping, there's verticality still. It seems like Dark Souls just with Sekiro movement now, where you can jump, you're going to have all this mobility. This game looks fucking awesome. I really, really can't wait. The WoW, I can't give a game a higher praise than saying that the world is as inviting as WoW does. It looks like a game I'll play long after I finished it. And for them, we were talking about Elden Ring and being an open world being a really, really big gamble for them. I mean, it looks like they fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
Right now, just based on look and design. whatnot.
We'll see.
Yeah, oof. It's fucking dude. I can't believe we missed that. That should have been one of our highlights. We just had so much to talk about with Microsoft.
Yeah,
I also wanted to
seriously.
talk about Blizzard again because we touched about them a little. This is more me than anything because I have such a connection. But a lot of over the past week, listened to more WoW players going to Final Fantasy, Shadowbringers. The survey linked from Blizzard. How likely are you to play each of these games? And Final Fantasy Endover, their new expansion, is on there, and that was voted like most likely to be played. WoW has serious competition now, and Blizzard is fuck, dude. 9.1.
Do you see yourself switching?
I want to try out. I want to try it out. We have Mike. When is New World?
Oh, New World comes out in August.
August. I think Ashes of Creation is near the end of this year or next year.
And I think it's called Endwalker for Final Fantasy. Is supposed to be Final Fantasy 14 is supposed to be awesome.
Yeah, they've fucking done so much. They actually the way they connect with their players is great. Supposedly dungeon raiding and PvP isn't as good as in WoW. I need to go more in depth. Great. You have to imagine all these announcements. The reason why Burning Crusade Classic was pushed as early as it was announced at the beginning of June is because of Final Fantasy. So many of these announcements are to compete with Final Fantasy now. They don't have it anymore. Blizzard is not the top dog for MMOs anymore. Finally.
I don't think they have been. I mean, do you think that that's that recent of a development? I mean, I feel like Blizzard has just been losing goodwill with its audience for years.
They've been
now.
losing goodwill, but there's been an MMO to compete with them really head to head. Final Fantasy has ever since Shadowbringers came out, that has finally they have a heavyweight to compete with. It's going to be so interesting to see how they react to this. Activision, I don't know how much reports say they don't heed to Activision's call, but they definitely do because they appear on the same goddamn financial statement. And Bobby Kotick is doing fucking something over there.
Getting fat bonuses, that's what he's doing.
Yeah, you're fucking right. Laying off 500 Blizzard employees, shutting down studios in France and Europe that were hub for GM purposes and dealing with tickets. The modern MMO is a strange place, but also Overwatch 2. We saw that's their reveal. Character models. Really?
Yeah.
Could care less about Overwatch 2.
This is supposed to be a PvE game, primarily focused on PvE.
Overwatch?
Overwatch 2 the whole new game is PvE.
Huh.
Putting these characters in PvE scenarios and having co-op, going through and having a story. Actually, this time there's going to be skill trees. That's only on for co-op, the PvE section, and they show fucking character models.
I mean, is the game just not far in its development? Could that be it? Like, do they just not have anything else to show? I mean, I'll look up when it's slated
There's
for release.
missions that they've shown gameplay of this.
Oh, okay, that's embarrassing.
You're telling me the only thing Blizzard has right now is Diablo Immortal, which has still not come out,
Yeah.
and the mobile game, and Diablo 2? Mike, I already know how you feel about Diablo 2. It's like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I played Diablo 3. I can't imagine that Diablo 2 really plays any different, even if
You'd be surprised.
Maybe it's like balanced better, and maybe
The loop is different.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
How
People
so?
hated the Diablo 3 for a reason. More people play Diablo 2 than 3 today.
Yeah, right.
The old Diablo 2. Like, I want to experience why. I don't doubt it for a second because old Blizzard is better than new Blizzard by a fucking mile.
Old
That's why
Blizzard is God.
Old Blizzard is God. They used to be... I guess, yeah, we'll have to end. But we look at where Nintendo is, and Rockstar and Sony, Blizzard used to be above them.
Yeah, they used to
That
be like
is-
the only game in town for MMO. They used to be the only game in town for like when StarCraft was the biggest esport and RTS in the world by leaps and bounds. And yeah, now they've just kind of rested on their laurels for too long, I guess.
Before it was when you heard Blizzard was doing something, you were like, fuck.
It was like
They're-
when you heard Valve was doing something.
Yeah, you know that what they're doing is going to be better than anything on the fucking market. It's going to be better than anyone. And Asmund talked about it. They used to take other people's ideas. They would just do it better to make and not even make it look like it was their idea to begin with. No, this was actually our idea. Go fuck yourself. We're perfect. You're not. That's how fucking good they were. Like, a lot was based off EverQuest. WoW just perfected it.
Right. Yeah.
And has so perfected it, it's taken 20 years for a game to catch up.
Yeah. But here we are.
Yeah. Finally, right? It's what we need. Maybe if you guys dive into more, or I can get CJ on, and we can just talk about early Blizzard, because there's a calamity there. But so closing thoughts. Let's get them out on Abandoned, as I know we talked about them for an hour, but let's close it up. Have some structure.
Yeah, closing thoughts on Abandoned. I don't think it's Silent Hill. I really hope it's Silent Hill. And if it isn't, if this is not if this is an accidental troll, that is the craziest stumble I've ever seen in games media. I gotta say.
I also don't think that it's Silent Hill, and I think Friday's going to come and go, and nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm going to forget that this thing's coming out, and I'm going to be playing Mario Golf.
Having a gay old time.
Yeah, I can't. Dude, that game looks fun. Quick thing, Mike. Have you played any more Breath of the Wild
A little bit.
and
Here and there.
Metro? Thoughts?
Haven't played Metro.
Okay.
It's good.
Thoughts on Breath
It's
of the
good.
Wild?
Breath of the Wild's good. It's so big. It's hard to.
It is
I
big.
feel like I'm not really making progress, which makes it difficult. Like, I can play Ratchet for 30 minutes and like feel like I did something.
Right.
Breath of the Wild, I'm like, man, I have 30 minutes. I'm gonna play, but I'm gonna like walk from one like waypoint to the next, and like I'll unlock a tower to fast travel. It's like fuck. But,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a
that's
game
whole
about
other-
wandering. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Mike,
whole
that just
other
gave me a
discussion.
great. Steve, we should do it. Maybe all of us should do it. A good essay format of the journey, where a lot of the games today are not about the journey anymore. It's about in an MMO. Just give me cap. Just give me cap. I don't want a fucking level. It's a waste of time. Where WoW is about the journey. There's a lot of games out there that's about that journey. Skyrim, I think, is about the journey, right? Leveling up.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say Fallout 3 is about the journey. Yeah, definitely Fallout 3, because you have to
Yeah.
discover the map before you can fast travel. It very much is about that journey, leveling up, getting strong enough to fight a Deathclaw. That's a big journey that you have to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to do it because about how have we gotten to this? Have we been brainwashed? Are we done with journeys, or have they just not improved? Or has a game just not implemented one that has
Yeah,
been
it's just
good
it's
enough?
just harder. It's just hard to design. There's no checklist to make a compelling journey.
Yeah,
There's a checklist for content. You know what I mean?
agreed. We'll
Yeah.
have to cover that in an essay video. So
Absolutely.
maybe that will be the next one, or the next video is going to be Silent Hill. Next video is going to be about Abandoned anyway. We talked for an hour and a half today about it. We're going to talk for 3 hours next week, and the first 2 hours are going to be me ranting the same probably 3 sentences going in a circle, and then the other 2 will jump in.
Well, I
Sounds
think our
good to
listeners
me.
can look forward to that. But until then, I guess I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, thanks guys for listening to me ramble.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, have a nice night, guys. Take care.
See ya.